Mr. President, on a lighter note than the majority leader, I'd like to talk about something a little different. A couple weeks ago, Americans across the country lost an hour of sleep to spring forward and reset their clocks for what we call daylight savings time. I'm willing to bet losing that hour might have caused some of my friends back home in Alabama to have been late for church that day. But the outdated practice of changing our clocks twice a year has many more consequences than the inconvenience of running behind. And Congress should make this year the last time we ever change our clocks by passing the Sunshine Protection Act. Over the past 2 years, I have received many calls from people across Alabama to make daylight savings time permanent. Many Alabamians, including parents, seniors, farmers, citizens, mental health professionals, have all reached out to my office in support of the days of more sunshine in the evening. But not just Alabamians, millions of Americans are ready to end the outdated practice of springing forward and falling back. The idea of daylight savings time was originally known as wartime, W-A-R. It was first introduced as a temporary measure to conserve energy and better utilize resources during World War I. Now, nearly 100 years later, Americans' energy consumption has rapidly changed. While adjustments to our clocks might have made sense when it first began, it does not make sense for modern times today. That is why I joined Senator Marco Rubio and a bipartisan group of my colleagues to reintroduce the Sunshine Protection Act to make daylight savings time permanent. The bill would provide an extra hour of sunlight in the afternoon, which would be most noticeable during the dark and cold winter months.
Hello, friends. Happy Tuesday to all of you. It is happening right now. Billions of dollars are set to go back to the American people. The government has finally approved new legislation that will send the American people a bit of extra cash this year. This is thanks to a new budget surplus and recently passed legislation. Dear friends, please make sure you watch until the end of this video to find out how much you may be eligible for. Also, this coming Friday, I will be announcing 2 more winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. My friends, the more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Just 6 months after passing what was billed as the largest tax cut in Missouri history, the Republican-led State House voted today for an even bigger income tax cut that could return over $1 billion annually to individuals, corporations, and retirees. The Missouri legislation is the latest in series of aggressive tax reductions that have swept across states last year and have continued into 2023. Even as some warned, it might be wise for states to hold on to record large surpluses amid economic uncertainty. The state of Missouri legislation still has a ways to go. It needs a second House approval before it can move to the Senate and then onto the governor's desk. But legislatures and governors in several states have already given final approval to tax cuts and rebates in the first few months of this year. In some states, those tax breaks have been pushed by Republicans, but in others, by Democrats. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem signed legislation that will lower the state's sales tax for a 4-year period, though she originally wanted the GOP-led legislature to eliminate the sales tax on groceries. In Montana, Republican Governor Greg Gianforte signed a $1 billion package of bills passed by the GOP-led legislature that will provide both income and property tax rebates, reduce the top income tax rate, and also increase income tax credits for lower income working families. In the state of Michigan, Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer signed a bill passed by Democratic-led legislature that provides tax relief to retirees and to lower income families. And in the state of West Virginia, Governor Jim Justice just recently signed a measure passed by the GOP-led legislature that reduces the income tax rate while also enlarging an income tax credit to offset personal property taxes paid on vehicles. The tax cut package is expected to return more than two-thirds of the state's record $1.1 billion surplus to taxpayers. Nationwide, states' total financial balances reach a record $343 billion at the end of their 2022 fiscal years. That is up 42% from previous years. Two-thirds of U.S. states had approved some sort of tax relief last year, and those surplus-induced tax breaks were enabled by stronger than expected state tax collections and an influx of federal crisis aid. But inflation remains persistently high, and new challenges in the banking sector have raised great questions about the overall economy. However, some experts are concerned about the future of the United States economy. One expert said, "Tax cuts are not uncommon during good budgetary times, but if policymakers are not careful, these long-term commitments can place them in a more vulnerable fiscal position when the economy inevitably turns." In the state of Missouri, some Republican lawmakers argued that more tax cuts ultimately would give residents more money to spend and lead to continued growth in the state tax revenues. Last October, Republican Governor Mike Parson signed legislation cutting the top individual income tax rate from 5.3% to 4.95%, and it was effective January 1st, 2023. It allowed for an eventual reduction to 4.5% if revenues continue to grow. Other states also are following last year's tax breaks with even more this year. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear signed a plan passed by the Republican-led legislature to cut the state's individual income tax rate to 4%. It will be effective in 2024. That comes on the heels of a tax overhaul passed last year, which lowered the income tax rate from 5% to 4.5% this past January. In 2022, Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia suspended the state motor fuel tax for 10 months, and lawmakers approved a $1 billion income tax refund that was worth $250 to $500 for most tax filers. Earlier this month, Governor Kemp signed an additional $1 billion income tax refund. He also signed a budget bill that includes nearly $1 billion for a property tax break. New Mexico's Democratic-led legislature also recently passed a $1.1 billion tax relief package that includes $500 individual rebates, tax credits of up to $600 per child, and a gradual reduction in taxes on sales and business services. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has until April 7, 2023 to sign or veto the bills. So friends, do you think that more states and cities should provide their residents with additional financial aid? Please let me know in the comment section below. Well, my awesome and most amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Tuesday. Thank you so much, friends, for being part of this community and for joining me here every single day. I will be announcing the 2 winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway this coming Friday. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, my friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed Tuesday.